name is Kateri. I love to talk about tarot and all sorts of things, actually. I'm an artist. I teach art on YouTube and on Patreon. And I have a teachable school called Art and Spirit Studio where I teach tarot and art. And I um I love to talk about tarot and I love to talk about oracle decks. And I really love to share decks that I find really special and beautiful and sort of hope that I inspire people that have no experience with tarot or oracles at all to purchase their first deck or find their first deck and begin to use it. I was just having a discussion with a friend this morning who is fairly new to tarot and is kind of going through some rough things in her life right now and was just so thankful that she bought her first deck of cards and has learned to use them in the way that I teach people how to use them. There are many ways, right, to read tarot and oracles, and they're all great. I mean, I have no, um, there's a place for everyone's methods and everyone's reasons why they use them, and my way is really about self-reflection and self-discovery. And I think of my cards as a way to have a conversation with my psyche, right? So they can kind of be seen in that way. And I don't use them for divination. I'm not psychic. I don't have any gifts like that, if I do, I don't use them. I just use them for my real life and to just kind of dig a little bit deeper. And today, and I was saying to my friend that I wish everyone had the opportunity, right? And the privilege of owning and using a deck for the same reasons I do, because they are a true help and a true solace for me at sometimes during really difficult times. And they're a tool, right, that I rely on. And I would even dare say a companion, right? So today I wanted to talk. I have many videos already here if you're interested in tarot. I've got lots of videos to watch and about a lot of different kinds of decks. And today I want to talk about two oracle decks that one of them I got in early 2022. And another one I just received recently, but I've been waiting for it for what seems like 3 or 4 years. And they're similar in some ways, um, and very different in others. And these decks are the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell, artwork by Katie Louise, and the Ocean Dreams Oracle that is by Danielle Noel. So you'll notice that the artwork has a similar resonance. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know Katie Louise. I've been following Danielle Noel for a long time. I have all of her decks and I love them. She did the art. Danielle Noel did work with Rebecca Campbell at one time on creating tarot decks. I don't know the story. I don't know why she's not doing it anymore. I don't really care. I mean, that's not my business, right? But I do see a similarity between the artwork for this deck and the artwork that Danielle Noel has done for a long time. But I don't know, Katie Louise, it's not an unusual type of art. I mean, there are many artists who work this way with collage and digital images and photography and all of those things. So, but you will see they almost look like they could be created by the same person, but they have a very different vibe to them, right? So this one, I'm going to talk about the Rose Oracle first. So this one I purchased because I saw a particular image that just really spoke to me. And at the time, and still now, I'm doing a lot of work with my ancestral lineage and deep, deep ancestry work within myself. And eh, I don't know. I just had this deck called to me, and I purchased it. And I have to say, when I first received it, I did not connect to it right away. And it could have been just the timing. It could have been just the cards that I pulled. It could have been so many things, but I didn't give up on it. And I started actually using it in conjunction with another tarot deck. And I would pull one of these cards because they're so beautiful, as sort of like an anchor for a tarot reading, right? Well, over time, I really started to fall in love with this deck. And not so, the guidebook is good. I'm going to give you a look at all of it, but I don't know what it is. It appeals to my deepest, most feminine self. The colors, the images, the subjects, it just really appeals to me in sort of this deep, feminine, intuitive way, right? So pretty. It is such a contrast to this deck, which is my very favorite tarot deck right now. This is the Fifth Spirit Tarot. And this one is so real and everyday and common and modest and all those things. It is not like beautiful in the same way this is beautiful. It's beautiful in a very different way. They couldn't be any more different, right? But as I said when I reviewed this deck, I love all of it. So this one is just very different. So I'm going to show you that it comes in this box that I don't like at all. I don't like these kind of boxes that are funky. Just give me a regular box. I don't know. It's okay. It's supposed to be, I think you're supposed to put a card in here, like you can put something in there, right? And I don't know. I don't use it that way. I just tuck it aside. But the box is very well made. It's very pretty, right? I'm not going to go into this as a review in that way because there are other reviews of this deck that go into all of those things. I just want to share my feelings about it and what I think is beautiful about it, in case you're interested. So it comes with this card, the Rose Oracle Attunement, which has sort of like a prayer, like an invocation, right? And then she says, on the back of this card, you will find the Rose Oracle Attunement Altar card. You can use the attunement to ritually connect with your Oracle and Mother Rose. Each time you use it, you can find a free visual and audio ritual version of the attunement at theroseoracle.com. I've never used it. It doesn't really appeal to me, but it's nice, if that's something that you're interested in. So the cards are here. How many cards are there? 44. So not a ton, but enough, right? They are very well made. Beautiful cardstock. It's sort of that rose petally finished cardstock. They're gorgeous. The backs are stunning. Absolutely stunning. And they're not easy. I cannot shuffle these decks like this. My hands are too small and too clumsy. So when I first get a deck like this, I sit down on the floor and I spread a cloth and I spread them out really big and I mix them all up and I make piles and I shuffle them that way. And at the same time, I'm just sort of getting the energy of them, into me and my energy into them, and that's how I shuffle them. And then when I pick it up to read, I truly just toss them back and forth in my hands a little bit because that's all my hands can do. So I'm going to just go through some of these cards. I guess I should show you the guidebook too. The guidebook is really beautifully made. Rebecca Campbell is a writer, poet, mystic, artist, ritualist, and mother. Her creations are dedicated to weaving the soul back into everyday life. I'm sure you can look up Rebecca Campbell. She's done a lot of work. It doesn't all resonate with me. It's a little bit too much into the manifestation woo-woo stuff that I'm a physical manifestation person. I'm a hard work, get your hands dirty person. However, I do it in a spiritual way, right? But and I'm not critiquing this. It's just not. I don't resonate with it, right? I get it, and I think it's really lovely, but I don't. It's just not how I operate. That's all I can say. So, anyways, it's a lovely guidebook, actually. It's in a few different parts: the rose, the oracle, the cards. Um, it's very well done. So I think I have used it. I don't always use it, but I have used it. And we'll use it today just to see. It's got a picture of the card in black and white, and then quite a bit of writing about each card. And then it offers a question, a soul inquiry, she calls it, which you could use as a journal prompt or, just to think about it a little bit more. Oh, and the card, I guess, is available in an app too. Yeah. So very nice, really nicely done. So let's take a look at these cards. So you'll notice that she uses people, but she also uses a lot of sort of collage imagery, the artist. And there is, I don't know, yeah, it's the same upward facing triangle, so it's the fire symbol on each card. But trust the seasons, this one says. And then she gives you a name of the card and then some keywords: embracing change, cycles of life, transition, and growth. So for me, that's enough, right? And sometimes I don't even consider them. I just look into the image and see what my intuition pulls from it, right? The wastelands, sustainability, slow down, tend to your garden. So I see this parched earth, but this water pouring forth through the person who is in reverence to the land. It's really a beautiful image. There are pictures of an ancestral face here. So there's a lot that you can read into these cards intuitively. We are nature, becoming grounded, embodiment, living in connection. So you'll see that in these cards, this artist, Katie Louise, tends to use a lot more like real world imagery. It's not quite as astral. I like both, but you can see here this person is in a bed of grass with wildflowers. It looks like a field. It's just very like the natural world, right? But it's done in a really feminine sort of magical way. Plant yourself here. Excuse me. Integration, embodiment, grounded action. Gorgeous tree roots. So, I'm sorry if these are the wrong way. Rapture, sensuality, love, devotion, romance, ecstasy, and pleasure. There's a lot in this image to see when you really look at it. It's fabulous. Release the petals, transformation, death and rebirth, shedding all change. So I'll just show you a couple more. I don't know if the card that I saw will come up, but I don't want to go through the whole deck because I believe in having some surprise when you get it. Lineage of the Rose, moved by the goddess, here for this, soul call, gather. I love this one. I really love that card. Morning Dew, Mother Rose. And you see images of goddesses from many cultures and religions, actually. Let me see if I can find the one that just really spoke to me at first. You can just get a little hint of this gorgeous artwork. This is a great one, the second bloom. I like that card. This is that card, that rose petally cardstock that sometimes the cards stick together. And after a while, like my Moonchild Tarot by Danielle Noel, it definitely got better over time. It's easier to shuffle now. Sophia, Wild Rose, the Rose of Venus, I get that one a lot. Breathing Rose, let's see. Okay, this was one of them. This one, Healing the Mother Line. This was a really powerful card for me. Held But there's another one. This one, the grandmothers. Remember your roots, perspective, trust the weavings. This card, when I saw this card, I knew I needed to have this deck, even if it was just for this card. It's just so powerful to me, and has a lot to do with the work that I do with my ancestral lines, which includes imaginal journeying way back in time. So it's really, really special. So let's just pull one card, and I'll read to you from the guidebook for that card. So you get a taste of it. So this one's the Thorn. Protection, boundaries, clear communication. You see an Egyptian-looking goddess figure, two sort of figures in the background supporting her. Her hands are up in this sort of position, and there's energy crossing between them. There's people traversing the background, the rose, the thorns. There's a lot to see in this card. So let's take a look and see what the guidebook says. This is card page 132. The rose is the queen of all flowers. Her soft and often fragrant bloom takes our breath away from near and far. A bridge between heaven and earth, she has the capacity to act as a portal to our true selves and call our soul more fully into our body. She leaves us in awe, allowing us to experience heaven on earth for a very precious moment. But the rose is not all gentle and soft. In fact, most roses are armored with spiky thorns and prickles of various shapes and sizes. These sharp protectors act like knights defending their queen, clearly setting the necessary boundary and conditions for her to do what she was born to do. We too are like the rose, so often we don't get taught how important clear communication and loving boundaries are to our relationships. When we're not clear on our needs, when we don't communicate them, when we don't take responsibility for them, it's impossible for others to give us what we need. This often results in a breakdown in the relationship. Communicating our needs and establishing our boundaries allows not just us to feel safe, but those we're in relationship with to feel safe too. This card delivers the message of the importance of clear communication, boundaries, and taking responsibility for our needs. To be clear with others, we must first be clear with ourselves, and then communicate this to our loved ones in the world. And then she offers the question, what loving boundaries are you being called to establish? How are you being called to communicate clearly to those you're in relationship with? Important questions, right? So really beautiful. I mean, I think the guidebook is very nice, but it's also not necessary, right? You could read this in your own way, depending on your inquiry, depending on the day, depending on what cards surround it, if you're using it with a tarot reading. So they're really beautiful, and I have enjoyed them a lot. So I wanted to show you those. Yeah, I'm not a fan of the box. I'm just a regular box kind of girl. It's just okay. All right. So the next one I want to show you is the Danielle Noel deck. This is her latest deck. It's called Ocean Dreams, and it's called the Mystic Oracle. I watched her creating this over several years' time. And I just couldn't wait until it came out. And when it came out, it was a little bit expensive for me, so I waited a while until I had the money, and I got it, and I'm so happy. So happy. I love this deck. So when she first was sharing images from this, she had two decks that she was talking about. One was more like a divine feminine, almost like a Mother Mary vibe to it, kind of a sacred feminine vibe. And then she had this one, the ocean, the more sea mermaidy vibe. And I think over time she started like leaning toward this one. And then I think she combined some of the images, because I see some of those original like sacred feminine Mother Mary images in this deck. It is, everything about it is exquisite. It is worth the price. I understand why this deck is more expensive than most that I have purchased. So on the back, it says, the Ocean Dreams Oracle is a sacred call to awaken the ancient wisdom within your oceanic heart, imbued with healing waters and activating portals. The 64 cards included guidebook are soulfully designed to nurture your daily reflections and inner whispers. So she gives a few examples of the cards, and it's a beautiful box. So it's one of those boxes that has the metallic opening, like a book. It's just so easy to open. And then here it says, Eternal Beloved, bless your oceanic heart. I'm not really into all that stuff too much, but I do appreciate it. In the box it says, I am transformative, I am expansive, I am infinite, I am deep, I am intuitive, I am creative, I am a vessel of magic. So, the cards are stunning. It's the same cardstock that you expect from Danielle Noel decks. The edges are done in this beautiful matte aqua. It is a sight to behold and to hold, both. The backs are really gorgeous, and I see a very feminine face within here, eyes, nose, mouth. It's just beautiful, beautiful. They're very calming to look at and to hold. She includes a note with some art on it. It's like a mermaid type painting that she does, or some of her work is painted, and some of it's collage and digital and photography. So she has a little note from her, and then there's this card, which is another artwork from the deck. Gorgeous, and I could see putting these on your desk. I mean, they're just so beautiful and inspiring. And this is a little invocation to use for Mother Ocean when you're using the deck, if you choose to. I have not done that, but it's a nice touch to have those extra images. So the guidebook is stunning. It reminds me a lot of the Moonchild guidebook. It is in full color. It has a lot in here. There's a lot. There's all sorts of stuff to read, and all sorts of suggestions and like spreads, and how to do ritual work, and creating an altar, and casting a circle, and clearing rituals, and all sorts of stuff if you want to learn those things. In the back, she talks about her other oracles and tarots that she's done. And here it shows the Starseed Oracle and the Work Your Light Oracle that she did with Rebecca Campbell. And then she did this one, the Yogic Path Oracle with Sahara Rose. It's a beautiful deck too. And these are her three, Star Child, Akashic, and the Moonchild. And she is soon to release a shadow version of the Moonchild deck, which I'm very excited about. So this book feels divine. It's beautiful. It's great. Really, really high quality. So again, the cardstock is stunning, and it's that sticky rose petal finish though, so it is tricky to shuffle at first and to separate them. But when you get the deck, you can go through each card, and I'm just going to show you some of the beautiful artwork. This is not a tarot deck. It is an oracle deck, right? Some of it has very oceanic vibes. This one's called Protection, Waves of Change. I mean, the images are breathtaking, and they're incredibly ethereal and feminine, and I love them. They make me happy just to look at them. This one's called Self-Love. I love that image. She has a magical touch. Sacred Vow. Look at that. Sacred Chalice. Rite of Passage. That is a beautiful card. Restful Pause. Mermaid. Inner Alchemy. I had that card the other day. Mother Ocean. Melusina. So this one is also a favorite. Lunar Waters. Beyond the veil, open channel, the calling. So this one, look at this one, the unveiling with the orca. Oh my God, it's just so gorgeous, so beautiful with the whale. I wanted to show you, I don't want to show you all of the cards because again, I think it's good to, this is one. This is one of the cards that she showed years ago that I was so attracted to. This image is really powerful for me. I think it's exquisite. There's a couple more this one, the Divine Spiral. I love this one, Storm. Shadow Waters. I mean, so many of them are exquisite. I don't want to ruin it for you, but if you want to watch, there are many videos that go through every card if that's what you want to do, but I like to be surprised, so I don't tend to watch those too often unless I don't think I'm going to get the deck and I just really want to see the deck. And every now and then it changes my mind about a deck, but Ancient Emissaries. Oh, I love that one. Nurture yourself. Cleansing waters. I love that image. These are the kind of images that you can meditate on. I'm going to show you my very favorite in a second. That you can meditate on. Close your eyes and visualize the image that you see and let yourself enter the image and see what happens. I love doing that. A lot of times things are revealed to me from my psyche. I hear things, I see things, I meet new characters, I meet new guides, new ancestors. It is a beautiful experience, and these images are so, gorgeous to enter into. I love them. This is another one that's really, really beautiful and reminds me of that other deck that she was talking about working on with the more sacred feminine. And this, my friends, is my very favorite card because it is my spirit animal, and I so relate to this card and its meaning. And I'm going to read it to you. This is the Inner Compass card with the polar bear and the icy waters. I love, 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 love that card so much. I would love to have a poster of that card. So I'm going to read that one to you. The guidebook is in alphabetical order, so it's really easy to find things. Inner compass, following your true north, soul purpose, visionary quest. I am guided by my inner compass of purpose and intuition. I have faith in my vision. I am resilient to challenges. A guiding light to intrepid souls, Polaris has navigated humanity across vast seas and parched deserts since the dawn of time. This bright star is easy to spot in the night sky by charting the Great Bear constellation, which stands out amongst infinite star fires and even city lights. Polaris is also called the North Star because it sits still at the North Pole while the rest of the northern sky turns around it. When we know our true north, we have our bearing in the world. Polaris, the North Star, it's very important to me. So this was the first card I drew from the deck, so it was magical. But polar bear means sea bear in ancient tongue. This majestic creature thrives in one of the most inhospitable environments on Earth, north of the Arctic Circle. Its white fur blends in perfectly with snowy landscapes, enabling it to move silently despite being the largest predator on land. With a water-repellent coat and a deep fat reserve, it is insulated from icy harshness, undeterred in its visionary quest. And then she gives you a question on each card. Where is my true north guiding me is the question for this card. Polar bear embodies fortitude, courage, and purity of spirit. We may call upon this powerful guide when we are moving through unknown waters in pursuit of our soul's calling. This card rallies you to stay true to your mission, even if there is no shore in sight. Let your purpose be your own North Star, for it will not lead you astray. That is so true. I have learned that. Polar bears are able to rest on floating sea ice. Try to replenish yourself with moments of grounding and self-care in times of instability. You have within you an inner compass born of integrity. It speaks to you via intuitive whispers. When we wash away the ego dramas, judgment, comparison, conditioning, the directions become clear. Just as Polaris is an obvious star in the sky, the guidance you seek is often in plain sight, patiently waiting for you to notice the sparkling signs all around you. Have faith, dear one. Your soul map lights up when you follow the cosmic breadcrumbs of synchronicities. And the keywords for this card are visionary, fortitude, navigation. So just beautiful, just a beautiful message, an empowering message, and a beautiful card. And gosh, you know, when you start to understand the importance of your own inner compass, and you stop listening to the opinions and judgments of others, and you really put your whole heart into your sense of purpose, magic starts to happen. And I don't mean magic as in things just appear. I mean things start to go well. You get more good opportunities than not. And the harder that you work, the luckier you get, right? And when your whole heart is in something, you just want to work hard. You just do. So this card, it's really my life philosophy in a card. It really is. All right, everybody. So that is the Ocean Dreams Oracle deck from Danielle Noel. I highly recommend it. I think it's really, really beautiful, and yeah, I'm so happy with it. I think it's quite something. All right. I hope you're all well, and I will see you again very soon. Take care. Oh, and if you have decks by Danielle Noel or Rebecca Campbell, I would love to hear your thoughts about them and what you love about them and which one is your favorite. All right. Thank you so much. Take care.